What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I love to talk about all things Peloton cycling and fitness. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post every single Sunday, and today's video I think will be a fun one. The theme is work out with me for a week. Right now it is Monday, February 6th, and I figured I would just take you through a week of workouts, no specific theme, but I am possibly training for a marathon. So trying to get my mileage up is definitely the focus of my workouts lately, but I also, throw in a touch of other things as well. The majority of my workouts are on Peloton, so I figured I would share them, show you how I structure my week. A few things: I typically work out 6 days a week, so every weekday, and then on Saturdays I do my long run. And on days that I'm not doing a long run, I try to keep my workouts to an hour max. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesdays I do like a shorter long run, which I'll address when we get there. But that is the workout plan. I also try to sprinkle in like small amounts of mileage on my non-long run days. So I figured I would just take you through my week. Obviously every week is like a little different depending on what's going on, but I feel like this is like a pretty typical week while I'm working on getting my mileage up. Today is Monday, and what's on the agenda today is I want to take a strength class. I like to try to get my strength in like before I do my long runs, especially on Saturday. Like, I don't want to be doing strength on Friday, so let's get it in at the beginning of the week. I am going to be doing Jermaine Johnson's intermediate 3-day split program. I have done an entire video on it. I've done a video on every single split program that is available on the Peloton app. Jermaine's is my favorite, and the 3 days fits way better in my schedule than 5 days. I definitely could not be doing 5 days of split training along with my running schedule, but I usually can commit to 3 days, although sometimes I just drop the last class because I just don't get to it. But this week I'll start with class 1, 30-minute upper body push class, tagged intermediate by Jermaine Johnson. The description is target your chest, shoulders, and triceps in this dynamic upper body push workout. I've done it before. I like JJ. Should be a good time. And then after I'm done with my strength workout, I'm going to pop on the treadmill, and I picked out a 30-minute tempo run by Matt Wilpers, tagged intermediate from April 12th, 2019. So pretty old of a class. But my reasoning is last week I did some of the top rated runs on Peloton, and I took a tempo run by Matt Wilpers, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it went by very quickly, and it was also kind of the running that I want to be doing, which is like long pace running, no walking recovery, just kind of like setting and forgetting. So I figured I'd try another one today. I just searched under speed in the class type for running, 30 minutes and top rated, and then chose like the first one that looked good to me. So it is a little old, but I am excited to take it. And that will be my workout today. Definitely a little harder because I'm doing like pretty intense strength and then also this running class. But it's Monday. We got to kick the week off strong. So let's go to the gym and knock out these 2 Peloton classes. That workout was a little harder than expected, mostly because of the run, but the split class was exactly what I expected. I already have a video about this program, so I'm not going to go super in depth about it. You do 2 main sets after a little bit of a mobility warm-up. The first set is chest flies on your back, and then chest presses on your back, and then finishing with push-ups. And the second set is skull crushers on your back again, and then overhead shoulder presses. So pretty basic moves. He says to grab medium and heavy weights, and I actually have been writing down what weights I grab since I am repeating this program multiple times. And last time I grabbed 15 and 20, and I wrote down that that was way too hard. So this time I grabbed 10 and 20, and I was worried that 10 would be too light for some of the moves, but honestly, you can just like do the moves faster then, and you still get like good burnout. So it just depends if you like want to push really heavy and do the move slower, or want to have lighter weights and do it a little bit faster. But I thought for today, 10 pounds was like a good medium weight for me, and then 20 was definitely a push, but we didn't use the 20 pounds a lot. So that was a great class, no real complaints. I knew what to expect going in. And then Matt's run, that was harder than expected. And it was because there was hills in it, which is not a bad thing. I definitely need to practice running down an incline. So really it was nice that, Matt just kind of sprung it on us. So we had a very long warm up. I believe it was 12 minutes. There was some jogging, some incline pushes, and then some speed pushes. And then we got into the actual tempo run, which was just 5 minutes on, 1 minute recovery, which was also jogging. And for the first time, we did 1% incline. The second time we did 3% incline. And the last time we did 5% incline. My tempo pace is usually 7 on the treadmill. So that's like around 8 minutes, 30-second minute to mile pace. And I knew that there was no way I was going to be able to sustain that for even 3% and definitely not 5%. But I did my 7 speed for the 1%. Everything was fine. And then Matt is like, look at the output that you're outputting right now, because I think Peloton does like a calculation based on incline and speed and gives you like a total output like they do on the bike. But I do not have that number. So he was like, I want the output to be the same. So bring your speed down when you bring up the incline. So I didn't have that number to like have it be perfect, but I did 6.8 speed with 3% incline and then 6.4 speed with 5% incline. And that was definitely a push. The 5% incline is not something that I sustain for 5 minutes typically, but I'm glad it was a challenge and that Matt kind of pushed me to do more hill work. But yeah, that was definitely a little harder than I expected. Also, I always use my Apple Watch. If you connect it to your phone, it like tracks your mileage on the Peloton app. Now it is an estimate because the Apple Watch like doesn't connect to the treadmill at all. So they base that off of, I'm guessing, like your arm movement, which is kind of amazing that it's accurate at all. And the Peloton app used to overestimate my mileage, assuming that my treadmill is like the source of truth, and that's not inaccurate, which like I just have to assume that is accurate. Probably around like a month ago, my app would overestimate, I would say maybe like 10 to 20% of what my treadmill says. And now it underestimates like 10 to 20% of what my treadmill says. And it is consistently underestimating now, probably for like the last 2 weeks. So it's not a huge deal. Like I don't really care. I just like that any kind of mileage is recorded on my Peloton app so I can get my badges. But I wonder like what is happening there. Is it something with Apple? Is it something with Peloton? It also makes me slightly concerned because I do use the Peloton app to track my outdoor runs. So hopefully the mileage there is correct. I think it is fairly accurate because I know that the loop that I run is 3.1 miles and that's what the Peloton app says, but it makes me a little nervous, like their tracking system. But besides that, really no complaints. A good hard work day today. Mondays, I kind of go the hardest in terms of like running and strength. Usually the other days I either do one or the other. So yeah, I'm excited to, have a little bit of a more chill workout tomorrow. It is now Tuesday morning and I'm ready for my next workout. And today should be a little easier. I'm going to be doing yoga and then I'm going to do another class from the split program. So, no cardio today, but I feel like with the strength, it's still a really good workout. And I don't have like go-to yoga classes yet. I haven't taken any that I really dislike, but I also haven't taken any that I absolutely love and feel like I need to repeat often. So I'm still kind of just choosing random ones. I have kind of got into taking the morning yoga flows because I take them in the morning and I find them kind of nice. They usually start a little bit slower and kind of work your way up into the actual flow, which I appreciate as someone who does this first thing in the morning. So today I'm going to be doing a 30-minute morning yoga flow, tagged beginner by Aditi Shah from February 6th, 2023. And I'm pretty excited about this. I haven't done yoga in a while because last week I was running every day and doing the Pilates program. So I'm definitely excited to get some yoga in, get some stretching in, and yeah, I always feel better after a nice yoga class. After that, I'm gonna pop down to the gym to do Jermaine's intermediate 3-day split, class 2. It is a 30-minute upper body pull class, tagged intermediate by Jermaine Johnson. The description is grab your weights and get ready for this upper body split workout focused on strengthening your back and biceps. And I know that this is a good class. I'm excited to take it and do some more strength, and that is what is on the agenda today. So let's knock out these 2 Peloton classes. I really enjoyed both of those classes. They were both really good. It definitely still feels weird for me not to do cardio some days because that is like pretty new to me. I used to at least do like a half hour of cardio every time I worked out, but I'm realizing now that some days I just get like a lot of cardio in. Like tomorrow I'm gonna go for a longer run. So it's okay to have some days that are more chill and like prepare me for my longer runs. So the morning yoga class was really nice to wake up to, very slow moving at the beginning. So if you want a harder yoga class, I would not recommend this one. I would give it like a 4 out of 10 for difficulty. We didn't do a ton of difficult moves. The biggest one was half moon pose, where you stand on like one leg, have another leg behind you, and then you can like twist up and bring one of your arms up. That move is pretty hard, but we like worked up to it, and that was right at the end of class. Like before that, we did a ton of warm up. We did some down dogs. Like we did basically slow flow, pretty easy to follow in my opinion. But some days you just want that, especially since I haven't done yoga in like a week. I'm pretty tight. So it was nice to just kind of loosen everything up, feel real good. I really, really like those morning classes. I kind of want to try an evening class like at night, because I think that would be really relaxing. I bet it like starts out harder and then like gets easier to kind of wind you down. But I just don't work out a lot like at night. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to take them. If you take those, like definitely let me know if you like them. I would be curious. But the morning ones I cannot recommend enough, especially if you like work out right when you wake up or you're new to yoga. I feel like these classes are just great. I'd give it like a 9 out of 10 for enjoyability. Sometimes I feel like 30-minute yoga classes drag on, but not today's. I feel like it was a good pace. We got everything we wanted to do, stretched out, felt good. And then I felt very ready for my pool day with Jermaine Johnson, which was good as always. I have reviewed this class in the past as well, so I'll keep it brief. There were 2 main sets. The first main set were like bent over rows where you'd like bring them up this way. And then we went into normal bicep curls and we finished off with chest flies, but we were like leaning over. I think reverse chest flies is the proper name. And then the second set was bent over rows again, but you like brought them up with an angle like this. I don't know what the different angles are called, but the hard thing about those is he wants you to do them one at a time. So like each side at a time, and your like resting hand is in the upward position, which I think makes it way, way harder than what you typically do, which is like you hang it below you while you're bending over and then like lift one at a time. No, you gotta keep it up, which definitely works the muscle a lot more. And then we finished that set with hammer curls where you only stand on one foot. That helps with form, like not rocking back and forth as much. And those are hard. I grabbed 10, 15, 20 pounds. I 100% needed all 3 different weights. I would grab like whichever ones based on what Jermaine said or what I thought, but I feel like I used all of them in like different ways. So good workout today. I'd give that class like a 9 out of 10 for enjoyability. I don't know if I gave ratings yesterday, but I'd also give like just the entire Jermaine Johnson program a 9 out of 10 for enjoyability. And like an 8 out of 10 for difficulty. It depends on how hard you push yourself. And yesterday I would give Matt's run like a 9 out of 10 for difficulty and an 8 out of 10 for enjoyability. So pretty high ratings this week so far. It's been a good week, and I'm glad that I'm kind of front loading my week with strength. So then like as we advance towards the longer run on Saturday, you'll see it'll get a little bit easier. So I feel like this week's structure is going well. And I also thought I'd mention I choose all my classes the night before. Usually when I'm laying in bed, like getting ready to go to sleep, I'm like, let me just pick what class I want to take so that in the morning I don't have to think about it. I already know what's laid out. And then obviously I know like when I need to run for this like training. And then I also like have a good idea of like when I want to do strength. So I know I want to do like the 3-day split this week. So then I just kind of like fill in the blanks with everything else, which honestly, like there's not that many things left to choose at that point. But yeah, that's how I choose my workouts. It is now Wednesday morning, which means it is my semi-long run day, my long run of the week. I will definitely make a separate video to talk about all this marathon training that I'm doing, but I am following the Hal Higdon plan, Novice 1, which is like the most beginner plan ever. You run 4 times a week with a semi-long run on Wednesday and then a long run on Saturday. And it's going fairly well so far. I'm definitely concerned about the mileage in this plan. The biggest thing is that the longest run you do on a Saturday before the actual marathon is only 20 miles. And I know 20 miles is quite far, but you still got another 6.2 miles after that you got to do on race day. And yeah, I'm definitely a little nervous, but it's been going well so far. So today is Wednesday and today's run should be 9 miles long. And on Wednesdays, I just run on my treadmill because I do not have time to drive somewhere nice to run. And it's not really like nice to run in my neighborhood because it's like city-ish. So there's a bunch of traffic lights and stuff. And like, I don't want to run around my neighborhood. So I just do the treadmill on Wednesdays. And honestly, I run slower on the treadmill than outside. So it would be nice to do it outside actually. But we're on the treadmill. I put it to 1% incline to emulate the outdoors. And I typically go between pace like 6.5 to 6.8 is kind of the sweet spot. I like go up and down depending on how I'm feeling, but somewhere around there. So it should take me a little under an hour and a half. And I don't take Peloton classes during this. I have tried before, and sometimes I do, but the biggest thing is that no Peloton class is long enough. So I like take one and then either I have to like do a long stack or like do something else afterwards. And I feel like that's like demotivating to like be counting down for one Peloton class to end just for like another one to start. And since it's a distance goal and not a time goal, like I don't really want to do any of the like bells and whistles that the Peloton classes have. I just kind of want to like set, forget, and grind out the 9 miles I have. So I typically just watch TV during it on my iPad. I don't think that that's distracting, and it gets me through the 9 miles. You got to do something to keep you entertained. I'm not sure what I'm going to watch today. I'm going to have to decide when I get down there, but that's the plan for today. And yeah, like no other workout. I'll do a little bit of stretching before and after, but this is the big workout of the day. So let's hit the gym, hit the treadmill, and knock out these 9 miles. I don't have a ton to say about my workout today, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I did manage to hold 6.8 speed for the majority of the run, which is pretty good for me. I walked once to drink water because I cannot run and drink water, liquid IV at the same time. That just doesn't work well for me, especially on a treadmill. So I walked for that, but managed to hold 6.8 speed for the majority of the rest of the class. I went down to 6.5 like a couple times, but pretty fast. I finished in exactly 1 hour and 21 minutes. So perfect 9-minute pace with like my little walks and going down to 6.5. which I'm happy with. The run today felt really good as well. I feel like I had kind of a mini taper week last week. Even though I did run every day for the top rated runs video I filmed, the actual long runs were only 8 miles and 12 miles, which is a little less than I've done in previous weeks. So maybe I'm rejuvenated, or sometimes I just wake up and I don't know, I like feel really good. And that happened today, which is always awesome when you have a longer run and like you feel good and solid during it. And I also managed to watch 2 episodes of Good Trouble, so no complaints there. I definitely like watching TV while running. It's kind of like a reward, like while you're also on the treadmill. So it was nice to get in some TV in the morning and then also hit my long run. And I'm feeling good now. Did some stretching afterwards. I usually don't feel soreness from like anything below, I would say like 14 to 15 miles now. So I think I should be ready to go again tomorrow. It is now Thursday morning and I'm feeling pretty good. No soreness, a little bit of tightness from my run yesterday, but nothing that we can't work with. So today's gonna be a little more relaxed, another no cardio day. So I'm gonna start out with a 20-minute focus flow lower body by Kristen McGee, tagged beginner from February 7th, 2023. And the idea here is just to kind of like warm up, stretch out my legs. I feel like yoga is pretty good for that. Sometimes you do a lot of lunges in lower body focus though, but I think that this class will be pretty good to kind of work out my tightness from yesterday. And I like the focus flows because it like really feels like you're targeting a certain area, and I want to target lower body. I think it will be a great class. And then I'm going to go over to Jermaine Johnson's intermediate 3-day split and knock out the last class of the week. This will be my last instance of strength training this week. And it is a 30-minute legs and core tagged intermediate by Jermaine Johnson. Class 3, the description is this split workout focuses on strengthening your largest muscles while also improving core and lower back stability. So kind of a lower body focused day, leg day, but I definitely want to knock out this like strength class before tomorrow because I don't want to be sore at all going into Saturday. So that's what's on the agenda today. Let's knock out this yoga class and then this strength class. That was another good workout day. The yoga class was definitely more stretch based than I thought it was going to be, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I knew that we would focus on really stretching out the legs, but we did like no flow. We never did downward dog or any kind of like warriors or lunges. So if you're looking for a yoga class that is just going to get really, really deep into the leg stretches, I would recommend. I don't think that it is difficult at all, like difficulty 3 out of 10. Enjoyability, I'd give it like maybe a 5 or 6 out of 10. Some parts are really slow, which gets a little bit boring, but I definitely feel like at the end of the class, my legs felt really, really great because we spent so much time like going into half splits, doing lizard pose, just kind of like really, really stretching out the legs. So that was a great way to kick off the workout. And then I went out to the gym and knocked out Jermaine Johnson's leg day. Again, I reviewed this class before. Difficulty like 8 out of 10, enjoyability 9 out of 10. We really got in there. There's one big main set that you repeat 4 times, and that's like the entire class, which I feel like that makes it go by pretty quickly because usually there's 2 sets. So like you got to get through 2 separate things, but it's just like one giant set. And it is squats and then backwards lunges on both sides, single leg deadlifts, and then a plank. And I think that it's pretty effective. The moves are simple, but you definitely work hard. He said to grab medium and heavy weights, and I grabbed 10 and 20s and then never used the 10s. I used 20s the entire time. Next time I take this class, I'm actually going to grab 20s and 25s and see if I can like push up to 25 for some movements. So definitely another kind of more more chill day after my longer run yesterday, but I give it 2 thumbs up. I think it was a great workout day. It is now Friday, and not gonna lie, my legs are a little sore from leg day yesterday, but I think it'll be fine. Definitely can push through it. Once I get moving, I feel like a lot of my like tightness and soreness goes away. It's just like right when I wake up in the morning. And today is a more fun day, at least in my opinion. I'm just gonna be running today just to get my mileage up this week because I actually haven't ran that much. And since it's Friday, I think it's always fun to have like a little bit of a shorter workout. So I'm going to be doing the 30-minute pop run by Logan Aldridge from February 6th, 2023, and then following it up with an extra 10 run by Logan Aldridge from January 16th, 2023. And I've actually never taken a class by Logan, which is pretty abnormal because I try out the new instructors like right away. I think he did start on strength though, and I don't take a lot of like random Peloton strength classes. Like I usually take stuff in programs. I know he does have 2 strength programs out right now. One is like standing moves and one is sitting moves. And I really want to take those. It's on my list of videos to make. And I just have never taken him, but I was looking at runs last night and his music choices are so good. It's like all the pop music that I love. So I literally saw the playlist of this class and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to take it. And then I was like, I want to add an extra 10 class, which is just like another 10 minutes. I've actually never taken one of these either, but Peloton launched like this whole collection of them, I believe like at the end of last year. And I've been interested and I'm like, oh, extra 10 would be perfect. It'll just add a little more mileage for today, which is good. And I was like looking through the extra 10 runs and looking at the playlist, and Logan like killed it again with the playlist. Like I was like, oh, I have to take this. So hopefully I like him because I'm committed to 2 classes in a row. But I'm excited because I think it will be like a fun run. The music's going to be great. I'm going to learn a new instructor. I think it'll be a fun way to kick off a Friday. And then obviously I'll do some stretching before and after, but that's pretty much it. I also have been thinking about foam rolling today. I probably should, but we'll see. That might come later. I really enjoyed both of those classes. The 30-minute pop run playlist was just perfect. Like if I made a playlist, it would look exactly like that. And that's definitely part of the reason why I like it so much. So if you do not like the same music as me, then you will probably not like it. But lots of pop music, a couple throwbacks. I just felt like the playlist was so good. And then Logan was so happy. I feel like it was just a ray of sunshine. And I feel like lately I've been gravitating towards instructors that are just like really happy and like excited to be there, compared to like some instructors will try to like motivate you, or other instructors will try to be really serious. Like I like the ones that are like happy and goofy. I just feel like that's fun. And then I also liked that he would tell us how many tracks we had left. As someone who looks at the countdown like all the time, I try to top it away. I try not to look at it. I still am looking at the countdown for the time. I liked like thinking about how many tracks I had left instead of thinking about how many minutes I had left. Right at the beginning, he was like, oh, there's 8 tracks. And you're like, okay, cool. Like only 8 tracks. I can do this. And then when there's like 10 minutes left, he's like, all right, we only got 2 tracks left. And I feel like not a lot of other instructors do that. I don't know if he does it in every single run, but I appreciated it in this run. I feel like it motivated me, and that class literally flew by so quickly for me. I think mostly because I really like the music, but it was over before I knew it. The class plan was pretty basic for a fun run. I feel like all Peloton instructors are like pretty similar for fun runs. The first around 30 seconds of every song, you could walk, and then we did some sort of either hill or speed push, and then we would like walk again, which was totally fine for me. I knew what to expect. Like this is a pop run. Obviously, it's not going to be super technical. There was one listening game right at the beginning, which I thought was fun. I always like listening games, and yeah, just overall felt like it was a very fun class. Love the music. Like 9.5 out of 10 for enjoyability. probably like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10 for difficulty. And then I was feeling really good and I did the 10-minute extra run class, and oh my gosh, it was so hard. Or like I wasn't expecting it to be that hard, especially after coming off the Pop Fun Run, because essentially we started out and there's no warm up in this because they assume you're adding it to the end, which is like totally fine. That's what I was doing. So we jogged for a minute and then he was like, go up to a run. And like, I'm feeling good. Like we just did this Pop Fun Run. I was like pushing my speed a little bit. So I go up to 7.5 speed, which is like an 8-minute mile, which isn't super, super fast. Like I'm not sprinting, but that's like fairly fast for me. I typically run slower than that. And then after a minute, he's like, add 2%. And I'm like, okay, like I can push myself. Like this should be fine. And then another minute later, he's like, add to 4%. And I was like, okay, I cannot go 7.5 speed and run at 4%. 4% is pretty high incline for me as someone that doesn't do a lot of incline. I wasn't mad that we were doing incline, like that's totally fine. I just feel like I did not pick the right speed if we're like doing this like hill, which apparently we are doing. We're on a hill now. So then I went down to 7 speed, and for the next couple minutes, we like added speed on top of that. So I got back up to 7.5, but I definitely should have just started at 7 and then went up to 7.5 rather than like going all the way up to 7.5 and then coming back down. But now I know more what to expect with these extra 10 classes. Like I really didn't know what it would be like, but it was just a hill that you went up and down at increased speed. It was definitely a good workout. The music was incredible, just like the Pop Fun Run, but it is something to keep in mind that for me, the extra 10 run was harder than the Pop Run, but I am glad I got like an extra 1.2 miles in, so I feel like it did what I wanted it to do. It got my mileage up a little bit, and then I just stretched out, cooled down. Everything was good afterwards. And for the extra 10 run, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 for difficulty, just because I think I like overexerted myself a little too much at the beginning, and then like a 9 out of 10 for enjoyability. I thought it was a very enjoyable like 10-minute addition. It got my mileage up, really no complaints. Logan was awesome in that class too. Now I know I definitely need to take more Logan runs. Like these are great, and I'm sad that I only started taking them now, but now I know that there's another instructor that I really enjoy and apparently has a music taste that aligns with mine very well. So definitely 10 out of 10 to today's workout. What a great way to kick off the Friday. And now all we got left this week is my long run tomorrow. So, something to look forward to on the weekend. It is now Saturday morning, so the day is finally here for my long run, and I also did a whole video about what I do on my long run. It has changed a little bit thanks to people's feedback. I used to eat like overnight oats beforehand, but I didn't feel well once I stopped running. So now I eat PB toast and banana, and I find that like sustains me a lot more and I feel more steady throughout the run. And then I also drink a lot more water. So I already put 2 packs of Cure Hydration, which is like liquid IV or any other kind of hydration multiplier, 2 packs of that into 32 ounces of water. And then I'm also gonna bring a whole nother like just normal bottle of water. I think this is like 40 ounces. So we're definitely covered on the water front. And then I also have my gels, which I'm still eating these goo ones. We got 3 today because I'm gonna be doing an 18-mile run, which is the longest I have ever ran. And 18 miles is really getting up there. So I'm a little nervous. Plus I didn't sleep the best last night, but I think it will be okay. And afterwards, Chris and I are getting a restaurant that I really wanna try. So I feel like the reward is in sight. I just need to run these 18 miles first. And one thing I didn't notice about these goo gels until literally like the last time I used them, so last week, is that different flavors have different amounts of sodium and caffeine. I feel like the sodium's not that big of a deal. Like some of these have 55 milligrams of sodium and some have 60, which feels like not that much, but they actually have wildly different caffeine contents, which I feel like is a big deal. So now I need to like be cognizant of that. So I have jet black blackberry, which has 40 milligrams of caffeine, vanilla bean, which has 20 milligrams of caffeine, and strawberry banana that has no caffeine. And strawberry banana is actually my favorite flavor. So that's a little sad that there's no caffeine in it. I feel like 20 is like good. 40 seems like a lot, but I'm not sure. And I also don't know like what order to take them in now because of the caffeine content. So if you have any advice, definitely let me know. I think my plan is to take the vanilla first because it's 20 milligrams. So like get a little bit of caffeine at the front, and then mid-run, so this would be around like the 10-mile mark, take the Jet Blackberry, which is 40 milligrams of caffeine to really give me a kick for the second half of the run. And then this Strawberry Banana, which I'm going to take probably around the 15-mile mark, so I only have 3 miles left, is going to have no caffeine. Because I feel like taking caffeine like when there's not that many miles left doesn't seem necessary, but I don't know. Let me know if you had advice. I'd be very, very curious. But besides that, we're going to drive over to the Rose Bowl Arena, which is like this big arena that has a 3-mile loop to run around. And I'm gonna run around it many, many times. So let's go and knock out this 18-mile run. Another beautiful day. I just finished, pretty tired. It's also cloudy out today. Thought it might rain, but decent run. 18 miles is a lot, but you know, to do a marathon, you gotta do 8 more after this. It is now 2:30 p.m. I definitely needed some rest and recovery after my long run and my large lunch, but I don't have a ton to say about that run. Again, I didn't take any Peloton classes. I'm still listening to this podcast called Normal Gossip. I find it fairly entertaining, and I just save it for only when I'm running. So I only listen to it when I'm doing my long run, which I feel like makes it even more special. But it was a good run today. 18 miles was definitely a push, but I'm pretty happy. I did it in like 2 hours and 44 minutes, I believe. My pace was an average of 9 minutes and 8 seconds per mile, which I'm very happy with. Like if I can maintain under really a 10-minute mile for this marathon, I'll be happy. So it's good that, you know, I just keep pushing myself and basically say like I can't stop, like I just have to keep running. Like I don't even give myself the option to walk, and my pace per mile is like fairly consistent. I think I go a little bit faster right out of the gate, but not too bad. And I do have like differences in miles, but there's also different like elevations. So like 1 mile, I go uphill a little bit. Next mile, I go downhill a little bit. Obviously, I'm not going to have like the perfect pace, but compared to when I ran a half marathon, and even now that is a year and 4 months ago, my pacing was really, really bad. I would come out of the gate going like 7-minute, 45-second mile for like the first like 7 miles, and then I would just die. So I'm definitely happy to see like progress and see my pacing like remain the same, which I think 2 things. First, I like know it's going to be a long run, so I go slower at the beginning. And second, I do think that the gels help a lot. That is the one thing that I deviated from today. I planned to take 3 gels and I only took 2, mostly because I decided for the 18 miles just to run 6 loops, 6 big loops. The place that we go has like a big loop that is 3.1 miles and then a smaller loop that's 0.7 miles. So at first I was like, oh, maybe I'll like do a mix between the 2 so that I can take the gels at like exactly 5 miles, exactly 10, exactly 15. But I just decided to do the big loop. So I took 1 gel at like 6.2 miles and another gel at like 12.4 miles. And I feel like I felt pretty good. It didn't feel like I needed another gel to keep running. I definitely would, but I don't know. That had me taking one about every hour that I was running, and on the gel pack, because it says to take them every 45 minutes. 45 minutes just sounds like a lot to me. It's probably something that I need to experiment with for, but at least for today's run, I didn't feel like I was super out of gas like between gels or like at the end of my run, but I was definitely ready to be done by the 18-mile mark. It was definitely a push, and you know, gonna relax for the rest of the weekend. Tomorrow is definitely a recovery day, but yeah, that's pretty much what I do to work out for a week. So excited to repeat this all next week. I definitely think I'll start cutting more strength as I like get closer and closer to the marathon and work up my mileage even more. But so far so good, and I feel like I showed you kind of like the perfect week. Obviously this doesn't happen every single week, and I also do a lot of like content on specific workouts, so that really disrupts my workout schedule, but I feel like this was a good representative of what a good workout week looks like to me. So that is it for this video. I'm definitely excited to, take it easy for the rest of the weekend. Let me know what your workout weeks look like. Do they look very different than mine? I'd be curious. And as always, if you have any tips for me, please give them. I always love hearing them, especially for like running specifically. I still feel like such a novice just because this is like the first big race that I'm trying to train for. I actually haven't even signed up for the marathon yet, but it is on my list. I do feel confident I could run the 26 miles now, or at least cross the line for the 26 miles. But I'm still concerned that I'm gonna like hurt myself leading up to the marathon. So that's kind of like why I've been holding off. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.